we can predict the motion of planets with incredible precision. Given enough information, we can calculate exactly where a planet will be, even years into the future. So it seems natural to believe that if we measure carefully enough, we should be able to know everything about any object. But when we turn to something much smaller, like a single particle, this expectation begins to break down. It's not just that measurement becomes more difficult. There is a deeper problem. A fundamental limit to what can be known. Why can't we know everything about a particle? In classical physics, we assume that if we measure carefully enough, we can know everything, its position and its motion. But in the quantum world, this assumption breaks down. There is a fundamental limit to what can be known. And this limit is not due to imperfect instruments. It is built into nature itself. In this video, we'll explore why this limit exists, how particles behave like waves, and how this leads to the uncertainty principle. Momentum describes how a particle moves. It tells us how much motion an object has, and how difficult it is to change that motion. In classical physics, momentum is defined as mass times velocity. That is why momentum is such an important quantity in physics. But in the quantum world, there is another way to describe momentum. Momentum is linked to the wavelength of the particle's wave. In fact, momentum equals h divided by lambda, where h is Planck's constant and lambda is the wavelength. This means that a shorter wavelength corresponds to a larger momentum. And a longer wavelength corresponds to a smaller momentum. A particle can also behave like a wave. Look at this wave. The distance between peaks is called the wavelength. Earlier, we saw that wavelength determines momentum. Here, the wavelength is clear and uniform. So the momentum is well defined. But now ask, where is the particle? This wave stretches across space. We cannot say exactly where the particle is. It could be found anywhere along the wave. So the particle is not localized. Its position is not well defined. Now we change the situation. Instead of a single wavelength, we combine many waves. Each wave has a slightly different wavelength. When these waves come together, something new appears. The wave is no longer spread out everywhere. It becomes concentrated in one region. Now the particle is localized. We have a better idea of where it is. But there is a cost. To create this localization, many wavelengths are required. So the momentum is no longer well defined. It becomes uncertain. What we see here looks like a single wave with one wavelength. But this picture is only a simplified representation. In reality, to form a localized wave, many different wavelengths must be present. And because momentum depends on wavelength, this means there is not a single, well-defined momentum. Now let's compare two wave packets. On the left, the packet is narrow. It is concentrated in a small region, so the position is well defined. But to create this narrow packet, many wavelengths are needed. So the momentum is not well defined. On the right, the packet is wide. It spreads out over a larger region, so the position is not well defined. But now the wavelengths are more uniform. So the momentum is well defined. This comparison makes the trade-off clear. The more precisely we know position, the less precisely we know momentum. Now the pattern becomes clear. A single wavelength gives us a well-defined momentum. But the position is spread out. When we combine many wavelengths, the particle becomes localized. Now the position is well defined. But the momentum is not well defined. So we cannot have both precisely at the same time. This trade-off is unavoidable. We have now reached a fundamental limit. We can determine a particle's position. We can determine its momentum. But we cannot know both with perfect precision at the same time. This is not due to imperfect measurement. It is a limitation built into the nature of waves. To describe this relationship precisely, we use an equation. This is called the Heisenberg Uncertainty Principle. Delta x represents uncertainty in position. Delta p represents uncertainty in momentum. This equation tells us that their product can never be smaller than a fixed limit. So if we make position more precise, momentum must become less precise. And if momentum is more precise, position must become less precise. This is not due to imperfect measurement. It is a fundamental property of nature. At this point, you might be wondering, is this just a measurement problem? Could better instruments remove the uncertainty? Are we disturbing the particle when we observe it? Or is this simply a limitation of our technology? The answer is no. This uncertainty does not come from measurement. It does not come from disturbance. And it does not go away with better tools. It is built into the nature of reality itself. This uncertainty comes from something deeper. Particles do not behave like tiny solid objects. They behave like waves. A wave is spread out across space. So we cannot say exactly where the particle is. Its position is not exact. Now recall that momentum depends on wavelength. If the wave has a single wavelength, the momentum is well defined. But when different wavelengths are present, they correspond to different momenta. So there is no single momentum. That is why the momentum is not exact. This is the root cause of the uncertainty principle. If a particle behaves like a wave, it is not located at a single point. Instead, it is spread out across space. But this does not mean the particle is physically spread out like a substance. The wave tells us something about probability. Look at the height of the wave, the amplitude. Where the amplitude is higher, the particle is more likely to be found. Where the amplitude is lower, the probability is smaller. So the wave is really a map of probability in space. It tells us where the particle is likely to be found when we make a measurement. Let's now see what this means in practice. Consider an electron in an atom. In classical physics, we might imagine it moving in a precise orbit, like a planet around the sun. But in quantum physics, that picture no longer applies. The electron does not follow a definite path. We cannot say exactly where it is at any moment. Instead, its position is described by probability. We no longer talk about orbits. We talk about orbitals. Regions where the electron is most likely to be found. So why can't we know everything about a particle? At the most fundamental level, particles behave like waves. And waves are naturally spread out in space. When we try to pin down position precisely, momentum becomes uncertain. And when momentum is precise, position becomes uncertain. This is not a limitation of our instruments. It is a fundamental property of nature itself.